Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. JustusRStone here today, and I am talking about Volume 3 in Mamare Touno's light novel series, Log Horizon. There's two storylines going on in this particular volume. The first involves Shiro and a couple members of the Round Table Council of Akiba, the Adventurers Guild. They are going to join a political meeting of a bunch of nobility of the people of the earth. Now, of course, the people of the earth are the individuals that, when Elder Tales was a game, they were the non-playing characters. And for the Round Table Council, they've been invited to this meeting, and they're sort of taking a cautious approach because they don't want to be pulled into all of the affairs of the people of the earth, but at the same time, they realize that they really can't afford to make enemies of these individuals. The second storyline features a couple of the younger players that we met in Volume 2, Minori and her brother Toya, and they're taking part in a training camp for lower level characters, or, well, players, adventurers, that is meant to sort of teach them about teamwork, about how to take on dungeons, and to help them level up so that they're better prepared to survive in the world. Now, the juxtaposition of these two storylines really makes this probably one of my favorite volumes so far. It helps move the story along really well because, on the one hand, with the lower level players, you have the strategical side of Log Horizon, that discussion about RPG tactics and how to take on enemies and dungeons and so forth. And then on the other hand, you have this political story, which again is probably one of Log Horizon's more outstanding features and separates it from a lot of the other normal people caught in a video game world type stories, where they're actually trying to create a civilization and create a world that functions and is beneficial for everybody, because they really have no idea if they're ever going to be able to leave. Sometimes it can be a little bit heavy if it's nothing but politics, or gamer talk. And so I thought it was really great that in this particular volume we are sort of flip-flopping and getting bits and pieces of both as we go. It helps break up the story. It's also nice because, on the one hand, we're seeing Shiro and his group, who are all very, very experienced players, and they're applying the tactics of teamwork and subterfuge and so forth. And having used it in dungeons, they're now trying to figure out how to apply it to dealing with politics. And then we have the younger players who are doing that exact same thing, but trying to apply it to dungeons for the very first time. And so you get this common thread running through the book of teamwork and trust and friendship, and how all those things can help you achieve things, but applied in very different ways. Also, this book goes a long way to sort of expanding the world a little bit. It gives us sort of it starts to develop like a philosophical idea of exactly how the world functions. We get a bit of backstory about potentially how monsters came to exist in the world. We even get an idea of maybe how the whole idea of immortality of the adventurers, plus the respawning of monsters, how it actually functions in terms of a real living world. Which was kind of cool to see the expansion of this particular world, plus the mythology, and to see a character like Shiro, to see him reacting to the realizations and the implications of what all of these things may just mean for the adventurers that are now stuck living in this world. Again, Log Horizon is probably the more thinking person and mature person's, trapped in an RPG world type series. It really does take a look at some of the uglier side of things. Even when you can't technically die, it does present a consequence, and it does show you how, even if death isn't something you're afraid of, there can be lots of things that make your life miserable and uncomfortable. And in this book, we are seeing some really good character moments and sort of spending time with characters that are dealing with a little bit of this trauma. For instance, the younger players that were stuck in the really nasty evil guild in the previous volumes, seeing how now they're trying to rebuild their lives and learn to trust and so forth. There's some really nice character moments in this book. And in the previous volumes, I had said that I thought there was a little bit of overkill in terms of repetition, like beating you over the head with the same thing again and again and again. And I thought part of that might have had to do with the fact that it was a web novel initially that was posted, a bit of a story over time. I found there was less of that in this volume. I thought the pacing was a little bit better. And like I said, I think that's partly just because we have two very distinct storylines with two separate set of characters. And so it seems to move it very nicely along, and it has a really good pace. And it leaves you on a pretty cool cliffhanger to see what's going to happen next and just what is this new sort of development in the world that the adventurers pretty much don't seem able to foresee. So those are my thoughts on Log Horizon Volume 3. The series seems to be getting better with each volume, which is super promising, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how events turn out in volume number 4. Now, my next video will be next Saturday, and that video will be on volume number 2 of the light novel series, Strike the Blood. And this one is subtitled From the Warlord's Empire. So that'll be next Saturday. Click on the subscribe button above my head, or there's also a link down in the description so that you can check out this review plus all of my future light novel reviews. Over to my left now, I've got some links to a couple of playlists. Not only the light novel playlist, but also my manga playlist, because I am going to restart my manga reviews, hopefully this coming week. And, you know, if you feel like reading some other kind of books, I write those too, and I've got some links to those. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you'll check out my other videos, and I hope to see you next Saturday. Until then, bye-bye for now.